Alrighty, we are back on Raiders franchise after a 2-15 record. It's not looking good for us as we are getting doubted by everyone now. The coaching staff is starting to disagree. Granted, we don't have a coaching staff. Both of our guys who we brought in retired. Um, we now have Dylan Pickett and Donald Sullivan to man the ship. But the fans are hating us. The trust is dwindling. But we have an offseason to go through. We have our re-sign guys, fifth-year options. Jason Young, not even a question. D'Angelo Traylor, we are unfortunately going to let walk. Dylan Webster, for how cheap it is, we'll pick up that fifth-year option. He is going to take over as the starting center for Justin Ortega. We are going to let Ortega walk. Roger Davidson, once again, I think that's a no-brainer. Dom Belfort, no. He played horrific. We are not going to be accepting his, but here are all the players who are going to be testing the free agent market. We'll bring back Kendall Keenan. But outside of him, we are going to be letting everyone else walk. Oh, no, we'll bring back Doug Rainey. Because he played lights out, which sucks having a career year, at his age. It's just like, do we want to bring him back? We'll bring back Theo McDonald for another year. However, Wes Vogel, I think we are going to move off from. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and advance. We have a retirement, Sean Quincy. We're going to go ahead and show off the roster. So for what we need to fill, we need a third tight end. We need another receiver, which we're going to draft, is the plan. Pinkins has X factor. There's no way. We need a corner. We only have 3 corners currently on the team. And then we do need a punter as well. So let's go ahead and look at corner. D'Angelo Traylor, the #1 cornerback currently. Cat's trying to play with the microphone. He's scratching me. I'm sorry if you hear that. He's so young still. He doesn't understand that some of these things are not toys. We're going to go after Dylan Malone for sure. He has interest in us. That's going to be our veteran. And then we would like to also grab someone mid-70s. So, Tyrone Herrick. Okay, what other positions did we establish? We need to fill right tackle for sure. We need tight end. We'll get tight end first. Jose Estrada sounds like a familiar name. It's not. Go after Peter Washington. Well, no, he was never a starter. The last guy I want to check, I believe, is him. Martin Rivera. He only has 2 years under his belt. Or we could go after a guy like Glenn Dodson. Get a young guy. But it's a bit expensive. We're off for Jordan Guerrero, a 2-year deal. We're gonna go after Corey Lowell. Just get a nice veteran presence in there. I'm looking. Did we re-sign him actually? We did. We re-signed Kendall Keenan. I guess I literally just forgot about that. I was like, I would have brought him back instead, but he's here. Okay, so that saves us a position to go after. Okay, so we have 3 players, 2 corners, a tight end. Outside of that, I think we're good outside of that. We got the corners. We have a bunch of edge rushers. Good depth on both sides. Oh, yeah, the punter, obviously. Okay, so punter is the final position we really need. Jose Ortega, I mean, 25 years old, we'll take the flyer on. It's like a really good player. The last position we truly need, probably just a veteran quarterback. Sure, Blake Posey, 2-year deal. Why not? That puts us at our 5 negotiations. I suppose we might as well check receivers, see if there's anyone who we would want. Jandre Lucas is a scheme fit and he is interested. We'll go ahead and go after him as well. We'll be nice. Assuming no one signs him, of course. Which we end up signing all 5 guys. He is still here. We'll go ahead and throw him just a 1-year deal. Okay, yeah, I think we're good. Okay, no one real. I mean, the punter's great, don't get me wrong. But no one really stands out as that type of signing. Okay, so we have a playmaker, which if you look, Garcia, deep threat. Ramsey, deep threat. Villarreal, deep threat. Hopkins is our slot. We also have Jordan Aguirre. So ideally, we'd want to sign a physical receiver if there is one. So we're gonna bring back Bass Knight. We're also gonna let Aguirre go. Just in anticipation. And just like that, Bass Knight is back on the team. Again. All right. That is pretty much going to do it for the free agency aspect of it. Mock Draft 5, by the way. Look at that. First overall. We have 2 in the top 10, obviously, first overall. We also had 21st. All right, 28th and 29th. I'm not going to rule out right tackle. However, I would like to give Kendall Keenan his chance, you know. Yeah, he's not a long-term solution, if we're being honest. Okay, Miguel Cohen is a physical receiver. The issue is, Dolphins can't afford him. Okay, playmaker we don't need. Once again, playmaker we don't need. Where's the physical receivers at when you want one, man? There is none. There's your answer. Okay, so Jermichael Cole is literally the only guy. Oh, 1 second, guys. Gotta let my kitten into the litter box. He doesn't know how to get in yet. Trying to teach him, but he's like, I'm not mad because he's so small. He can't get in yet. And I'm gonna actually try put a cardboard box down and see if that might help. I don't think it'll be big enough, but it's worth a shot, I guess. I think that box is too small. But anyway, yeah, it looks like all the physical guys are either worse than expected or just not worth taking. So honestly, sure, we'll look at the tackles. All right, here we go. As for the free agency recap, Matias Torres, our former kicker, goes unsigned. Players who are signed are here. We see the Cowboys laying guys 1 through 3. Ron Burrow signs a 2-year deal with the Ravens. Good luck to him. Khalid Scott, a former tackle of ours, also to the Ravens. So Justin Ortega goes to the Texans on a 2-year. D'Angelo Traore, the Chiefs just love signing our guys. Bobby Underwood, our former safety, goes to the Lions. Mateo Gonzalez also goes to the Texans. Sam Dale. Dale? I would assume Dale. To the Chiefs on a 1 year. Zach Nolan, Zach Rich, both going to the Chiefs. So does Derek Messina. So does Eric Ingram. Ezekiel Barkley goes to the Broncos. Marco Iglesias goes to the Chiefs. Ooh, Gabe Felix. See, we tried to sign him last year and he didn't want it, and I completely forgot. But honestly, I don't think we would have gone after him anyway. But the worst player signed, according to them, is Karma McGee, the Bengals, on a 1 year. But there's a tie between the other guys, but they're younger, so better chance to develop. All right, NFL draft time. Where we are obviously going to be picking first overall. Okay. So Brandon Combs is a top 5 player. The question is, do I think, and I think the pick should be JaMychal Cole, do I think he falls to number 10? Either way, we are going to take Brandon Combs. Number 4, took him at number 1. Hidden Dev, I mean. I think once we get through the top 5 is where he'll realistically go. So he's projected to go 6. Question is, do the Cowboys take him at 6? They don't. The Steelers take him at 7. They don't. Broncos at 8. Eagles at 9. Okay, so he falls right to us at number 10. Yeah, I definitely think we are taking a big old reach on JaMychal Cole. But we need to develop other talent. 34 took him at 10. Hidden Dev, regardless, good pick in my opinion. We can't just have a deep threat at every single spot in receiver and expect to win off that. And with that being said, Miguel Ruiz does fall down to us. So we legit could just revamp this wide receiver room. However, I think we should probably look more towards Dwayne Ashmore. Yeah, the talent isn't as good, but in terms of just value, it's definitely, like way better. This allows us to go after more positions rather than kind of force ourselves. But you're looking at a D tackle, we're going to be taking Malik Bowers, and that's probably it. Tennessee has a deal so far. Unless the team offers multiple firsts. Yeah, Tennessee. Sweet. Okay, I didn't expect him to still be here at this pick. We'll trade from what it looks like probably to the Bengals. And if he happens to fall one more pick, there's not much I really think we can do. I mean, Miguel Ruiz, he's projected to go at number 11. I mean, number 7 took him at 29. And we just, like that, revamped our receiving room. We could get a first and a fourth from the Browns. A first and a third and a seventh from the Saints. When the Saints have a deal on the table that you can't resist, another first round pick, we're going to take. Okay. I got the two pets next to each other bonding. Finally, it's been so rough with them. Constantly like beefing with each other. Browns are offering a first, Texans are offering a first and a 7th low key. I don't care about that 7th round pick. I will take the Jaguars offer though. If they're going to keep offering first round picks, I mean, we're just going to keep taking them. Eventually, we need to realize we can use those picks to not just trade back in the draft over and over, but I mean, we can generally just trade for probably a good player. I guess that's our number one need is D tackle. So let's see. Oh, sorry. Cat's attacking the headphone. So I got both pets trying to cuddle with me at the same time. It's just. It ain't happening. Evie, stop licking me, please. Low key, let's just trade these picks away. Sorry, I hear stuff going on in the background, and it's like I gotta make sure we're behaving ourselves. Random team. Patriots. Sweet. We're just gonna do the same thing again. Random team. Giants. Sweet. Okay, and now we move up, well, back to the third round, which is completely okay with me. Okay, you know what? Let's see if 2/3 would theoretically get a first round pick. Random team. Eagles. Oh, sweet, it does. Okay. I am going to make a selection with this pick, don't worry. Malik Bowers. 68, took him at 80. Okay, then he's probably just going to trade away the rest of these picks. Random team. Steelers. Hope you're negative. We'll go up. Seahawks, negative. Saints, negative. Ravens. I was about to say, there's no way. I don't even think it's second get accepted. Oh, no, it does. Okay, sweet. It sucks being at this point where our team is on roster so unbelievably good. Patriots, Panthers. But we're just not winning. Okay, and we are done here in the fourth round. No need to keep making picks. I got two sleepy animals on my... I don't even remember what I was saying. Oh, two sleepy animals. Cooper Bell retires. Okay, so 79, 74, 70, I can't see that, either 78 or 70. 78, 72, 72 being our worst player. We killed it this draft. Probably didn't get the best player, definitely not, but 61, we weren't even close to the worst, and there is an 81. Darrell Strait, who ended up going 2 picks after us. There was also a tight end, TJ Harrell. Pretty good. Ends up being an 80 overall at 17th overall. But I mean, I don't know how they're going to say the Falcons are better than us. When I seriously look at this team, I don't see a flaw. Receivers, definitely on the weaker side. There's no arguing. But I'm hoping we just drafted the receivers that will literally change the team. Tony Garcia is our future. Terrence Ramsey. Jermichael Cole. Tony Garcia. Miguel Ruiz. We have some other guys as well. We have Manu Varejao. We have DeAndre Lucas, who we just brought in. Zach Hopkins. Keenan Bass, if he ends up making the team. I'm gonna give it the realism, thrive here. The Broncos do need him. He has not played well enough for us to be worth a pick, so we'll literally do just a 7th. Like I said, I like being realistic. Maynard is 3rd in rushing yards. That's definitely something we want to keep our eyes on. Because I do like Isaiah Tate. Maynard, I think, 5.6 yards per carry. I low-key think we roll with Maynard. Let's not jump the gun. 74% completion percentage. Definitely better than what it has been. But 2 interceptions to no touchdowns? Not ideal. Rushing. Isaiah Tate only rushes for 2.9 a carry compared to 5.6 in a touchdown by Maynard. Yeah. Receiving, we see Miguel Ruiz leads with 10 for 129. Love to see that, obviously. Tony Garcia. Then we see Zach Hopkins. That's really interesting. I actually am not a big fan of him per se, but I definitely think there is a spot on this team for him. Graph with 4 sacks, not ideal. Defensively, I mean, now for the cuts, we only have to cut 6 players this time around. Quarterback, we obviously have 3. Terrence Lindsay, we're not going to cut you immediately. I want to see the rest of the team. Unfortunately, do I want to give him a chance? I don't see a role for him on the team, unfortunately. We're good there. Bam, 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 bam. Practice squad. Edge is good. We're moving him over to right edge. That's where he was playing last year. I don't know why they switched. I don't know why. I think we got to cut one of the mics. And that's going to be Matthew Franklin. Oh, we still have to cut 4 more? I don't know why I thought we were good. We're going to cut Terrell Thompson. We're going to move to a free running back team. Sorry, Terrence Lindsley. Oh, yeah, definitely one of the edge rushers. I didn't even think about that. Well, considering you two are safe, bam, bam. I really do like Kennedy. It sucks that he hasn't gotten playing time yet. I was actually a really big fan of him. But we go 0-3 in the preseason. This is just not an ideal team. I don't know what's going on. We've really let it go. Low key, I do think we want to, for scouts, tackle. I want to keep these. We didn't take any of them, so we're going to keep all 3. The only things I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the positions. However, I want to change the tackle and receiver around. Because left tackle's still on the table here. In fact, we're going to actually fire you. We're going to go for a 3-star D tackle. There it is. We're going to go for a 1-star receiver. There it is. We're going to go for a 2-star offensive tackle. Because left tackle, I mean, assuming how he's played, I don't plan on keeping him. Now, these positions as well, or not positions, whatever you call them, regions, not finalized either. So we want to go ahead. I'm looking strictly at left tackle. I don't care about the right tackle. Okay, West and Central. Central's definitely got it. Central still got it. I think I'm more inclined to go Central. I'll leave it open actually because I know Southeast is definitely a lot better of a region than Central. Like, yeah. Well, hold on. That's not going to be anything, really. I mean, okay, so we're going to go Northeast for wide receiver. Okay, low key, I don't care about this one at all. This can get the scraps. Okay, so decent. Okay, I'm still inclined to go West. Okay, I'm thinking, here's what I'm going to do. For safety, we're going to go Southeast. For tackle, we're going to go Central. For interior offensive lineman, because I think it's the worst position plus least need out of the five, we'll go West. Because, yeah, it's just not good. But anyway, that is going to do it for that. We'll quickly show off our roster, though, in case you are interested in that, obviously. Here's what the team is looking like on offense. We see a pretty similar team compared to last year. Big change, obviously, coming to the receiver room. And some some backups have been promoted to the starter after some time of development. We're actually going to put Combs at number 1, I'm sorry, as well. Plus, also Maynard taking over Tate. Looking at the defensive side of the ball, kind of the same thing. We see some guys who were backups or not really too big in playing. Cornerback specifically now taking that big step. They are going to be the top 3, which I do think is going to be a very dangerous top 3. We see Wilson finally getting to start over Rainey, but Rainey still is here. Honestly, I don't know what this position thing that I just reorganized is, but we'll roll with it. And receivers, we are going to have to edit. All right, this is the receiving room. Mess around with the O-line. There we go. All right, and we should be good now, I believe, for the team. 87 overall, it says, but I'm hoping that this team can only get better. They are a very young team, so with most of the veterans being backups. So yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy. I did. I will see you guys next time, where we'll go through season number 22. We have 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So we're looking at 17 episodes remaining. Well, content, boys. We're looking at 9 episodes, 8 streams. Because obviously there is no season 30 off season. The season 30 season is where it stops, and then after that, yeah, you get what I mean. So 17 more things to go. If we quickly pull up my phone, I don't know how likely this actually will be, but Ooh, speaking of, I just saw tweet. Brenton Strange on the Jaguars. Didn't they just take a tight end in the second round as well? But he agrees to a 3-year, $48 million extension. So that's going to be 16 mil a year, which is actually a good chunk of money. That should definitely be an intriguing thing then for fantasy, which works out really well that that happens now because I don't know if I mentioned it, but I am currently being tasked by a few people to create at my work. I'm not going to say where I work. A fantasy football league. Uh, Me and this one girl were talking about it last season. This was unfortunately after fantasy football started, so it didn't make sense to be like, "Oh yeah, we're going to do this now." Yeah. So this year, everyone knows I love football. There, that's literally these shirts I wear. Although new dress code's coming up here real soon, that I'm still going to be allowed to wear it. It's just going to have to be covered up, which I have stuff for that. But yeah, so she was like, "Yo, you want to do a football league?" And it's like, "Sure." Uh, she's going to do all the recruiting because she's been there long enough. Granted, I've been there for over a year now, but she's been there longer. She has more motion because one, she's worked in multiple departments, and the department she currently works in is a very mobile one where you get to walk around the whole property. So she can talk to a lot more people than I can, where I'm more so isolated because my section doesn't allow that. My section is way worse in terms of that because I'm constantly having to do something. But yeah, I'll let you guys know. I'll probably show off my team, or well, I probably won't show it off, but I'll tell you my team because if you don't know, this is going to be my 4th year now doing fantasy football. First 2 years where we don't talk about, and then this last year that I just did, I made the playoffs in both my leagues. I normally do 2 leagues. First time I've made the playoffs out of the 3 years I've been doing this. Like I said, 2 leagues, so I've done it 6 leagues. Made it both times. Came 4th place in one. Injuries were just brutal. I started the season like through the first 6 weeks, I was unstoppable. I mean, and then the other league was very different. The other league, I was struggling a lot, but I was winning games. I was hovering around 500 a lot of the time, and then towards the end of the season, my team just made a push, and it got me right in at that free seed. It was a 4 seed make playoff, by the way. 10-team league, top 4 make playoffs, and I ended up coming second place in that to yeah. Which that one was not injury reasons. That was just once I made the playoff. That first week I had, it was 2-week playoffs, by the way. It's an ESPN public league I normally join. First week in that one was amazing. I literally was like so dominant. Then the next week, just really struggled. Thankfully, like I said, that week 1 was so good. I mean, I just coasted. But then, the second week came around and ooh, well, the finals in that 2 weeks. Basically, my final 3 weeks shouldn't have mattered. Like, I was second place. I went into the second week of the finals trailing by like 60 points. I ended up losing by like 58 points. So I beat him by 2 points or something, but was not nearly enough. But yeah, like I said, she's gonna recruit people. I told her the ideal number. I said 10 to 12. Just make sure it's an even number no matter what. We can do as many or as little people as people sign up for. It's gonna be free. I did talk about maybe a punishment, but I think that's something where I don't want people to be turned off, but I also don't want people to just not have a reason to play if their team sucks. That's always the issue I find with fantasy football is obviously bragging rights are a big thing. I'm not really too big into the prize part because if your team's doing good, you're going to play for the win regardless because bragging rights. But if your team sucks, what motivation is there for you? Like, you're obviously not going to win. That's why the punishment, I think, is definitely a big thing, but I don't know how to incorporate that to where people would want to join the league. Because, like, at the end of the day, like I said, this is a work league, which means I don't know when we're even going to be doing this. It's probably going to have to be after work one day because most of the people there who are, I assume, going to be in it are going to be the closing people. That's kind of just how a store works. You know, the openers get along with the openers, the closers get along with the closers because you don't really see the other side that often. So yeah, I don't know how it's gonna work. I am unfortunately being put in charge of it, so I'm gonna have to pick like the website. Obviously, there's a few ones. There's like, what are the big ones? There's ESPN, like I said. There's Sleeper. There's what is the other one that people have been using a lot lately? I don't know. I have to look this up. I know there is definitely one. Is it FanDuel? It might be. Regardless, I'm probably just gonna say use ESPN because that's what I know how to do. I've never made a league. I've always just joined one. So, but I mean, I know all the rules and stuff. I am definitely the most trusted to be there. My plan is to just follow how most leagues do it. The only thing I want to add is I want to add like an extra flex option because I always find it hard to be like, oh, I don't know who to play out of these people. Like, there's two good ones. Like, then you get to start both. And I also feel like it would be a bit more rewarding for wanting to sign people and release because for past it's been like I want to keep this guy in case he turns around. Like last year, Jerry Jeudy was that guy. I drafted him. I held on to him for like half the season, hoping he turned around. Never did. But it's just like I don't know if I want to risk it. Having two flex spots will be pretty. I feel like rewarding in that sense. It'll be like okay, I can cut this dude because these have been my two flex guys. You know, I don't see that changing very soon. Which would mean it would be the same size, I assume, and just one bench spot would be converted. So yeah, I I'm hoping that goes well because, like I said, my ideal settings. I'll go ahead and tell you, I'm a 10 to 12 person league where it's just as simple as top four make playoffs in 10, probably do top six in the other one in 12. Ideally, half the league outside that 10 one. I want it to be more rewarding. If we happen to go up to 14, I mean, there's like you could do the actual NFL playoffs for a winners and losers side, where the best and worst team gets to bye. Same with how the 12 team would work. The top two teams and the bottom two teams would get a bye. Because let's assume 12 is what we get, right? You'd play 14 games. Then, obviously, the worst teams would get that bye week. The 2 best and the 2 worst would get the bye week. The other 4 teams will play each other. Like the 3 seed and the 6 seed would play each other. The 7 seed and the 10 seed would play each other. And then the 4 and 5, and then the 8 and the 9. And then that's kind of how that would work. And then the week after that, it would be everyone would still get to play. You just have, say, hypothetically, the best seeds win every time. So you would then have the 1 and the 4 would play each other, the 2 and the 3 would play each other to advance to that finals. You then have the 9 and the 12, the 10 and 11 play each other. You then have the 5 and 6 play each other to decide who would get 5th place in the league. And you have same thing with the 7 and 8. 5, 6, 7, and 8 would then be done. And then that would leave 8 teams left. You'd then have, say, once again, top teams win. You'd have the 1 and 2 play for championship, the 3 and 4 play for third. Like I said, 5 and 6 is settled. 7 and 8 is already settled. You then have the 9th and 10th place people play for 9th and 10th, and then 11th and 12th play for whoever the loser is. So yeah, that's how my ideal one would go. I also like full PPR. I think that's a big drafting strategy because you look at a guy like, yeah, I don't know. I'm rambling too much, but I'm seriously that invested this year. I want to like make a league. No, I don't know how that would work. I don't know if I'd be able to like set it up exactly like that and pick the playoffs and all of that. But I'm hoping I would. But yeah, I'll also let you guys know, like some players I'm really high on. That doesn't necessarily mean for fantasy football, but I might as well just tell you. I'm gonna go through every team, and I'm gonna name someone who I think will be a really good player this year. Who wasn't maybe last year, or maybe people think, oh, that's just a 1-year wonder. We'll start with the Raiders. I think it's an obvious one for the Raiders. It's gonna be Ashton Genty. They bring in Tyler Linderbaum. They bring in Fernando Mendoza and Kirk Cousins, which I think will definitely be confusing. I think that'll mean he'll be getting the ball more, especially because you want to ease your rookie quarterback into it. Kirk Cousins, obviously not the same Kirk Cousins he once was. Don't know who the heck their receivers are. I mean, you look, you got Trey Tucker, you got Jack Besh, Dante Fortin. They brought in the Vikings guy, Jalen Naylor. Like, that is not a receiving room. I'm like, okay, that's going to be good. I'm starting with the Raiders, by the way, because of this, and then I'll switch to the other teams. Which, how long have I been streaming for, actually? An hour and 10, so we still got 50 minutes. Yeah, I think he'll be a lot better, especially going into year 2. He'll have more experience. We're then going to go with the Bears. A lot of people have been saying yada, yada, yada. Because you look, Caleb Williams, he might become the first 4,000-yard passer. I don't think he's going to have as good of a year. I think maybe stat-wise he might be better, but I don't think he's going to have kind of that magic that he did. I think my answer is going to be Rome Odunze. I I wouldn't say I'm a fan of his. However, I don't think he's terrible. I do not understand the Luther Burden hype. I just don't see him being that guy who everyone's saying is going to be, the next guy, the receiver one. I think that is going to be Rome Odunze. I think Colson Loveland's already locked in his spot. So yeah, he could obviously get better because he wasn't the full-time starter the whole year. But I feel like people are already going to expect that. I don't want to just pick an obvious guy. Bears, we then moved to Bengals. Low key, there isn't really an answer for this. I'll say whoever their wide receiver for ends up being, Yoshi Voss, Mitchell Tinsley. I know they drafted the guy this year. That's just as simple as it is. Obviously, like Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Joe Burrow, Chase Brown. I don't see Mike Gesicki being that good of a tight end, but who knows? Bills. I really don't know for the Bills either. Because you look, James Cook's obvious, Josh Allen's obvious. I think DJ Moore is going to play better with the Bills, but I don't think he's going to be that, top 10 receiver. Like, I want to say Khalil Shakir because I really like him. But I also had him, and I already feel like he is a good receiver. But I'll say him regardless. Screw it. We then have Broncos. Corwin Sutton. I mean, I'm so high on him. I think he is an amazing receiver. There's J.K. Dobbins and R.J. Harvey. I personally love R.J. Harvey. However, I don't think he's going to have enough workload for him to be like this true guy. Like, I think he's going to be stuck splitting with Dobbins a good amount. And yeah, a Dobbins injury could happen, but and I'm going to say Corwin Sutton. I think he's going to really prove he's a wide receiver one because I love him. Pat Bryant's another option too. I actually don't mind him either. Broncos, Browns. Here's my issue. I loved Casey Concepcion in the draft. My family's almost home, so I am gonna wrap it up probably here after this Browns one because I think it's most interesting. I'll talk about some specific players for specific teams. I loved him. However, I feel like Denzel Boston is just gonna have a better career than him. So I'm inclined one of those two. Like I said, I love Concepcion, but I just got like a gut feeling that Denzel Boston is gonna end up being the better receiver. Some quick players I want to, throw out there. I love Michael Penix. I really think he is a franchise guy if he stays out there. Obviously, people are going to shit on me for that, but that's just my opinion. I think Matthew Golden's going to have a breakout second year. You look at the Buccaneers. I think Chris Godwin is going to be a better receiver than Emeka Ibuka. I know that might be controversy. People really love him. Cardinals. I think Jeremiah Love's not going to be as good as people are expecting. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is finally going to take that jump, though. Chargers, I think one of their guys, either QJ or Ladd, is going to break out. I don't know which one. I think one will. Chiefs, no one really. I mean, their team's pretty solidified. I don't think Xavier Worthy is going to be that guy. I don't think Kenneth Walker's really going to change much from going from the Chiefs to the Seahawks. Colts, no one really sticks out. I mean, I've always liked Josh Downs, but at this point, have lost a lot of faith in him as that guy. Commanders, no one really either. I mean, this is just a team where I feel like you kind of know how everyone's going to be. I don't think anyone's going to stand out. Cowboys, we saw Javonte Williams. I think he's going to have a slight step back. Dolphins, I love Malik Washington, but I don't think he's going to be that guy. I think he's going to be a high-end receiver free for his is going to be his like career-defining role. A low tier 2, a high tier 3 is where I see him. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, there's a lot of other players. Maybe this is something I talk about another time, but yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy. I did. I will see you guys next time. Goodbye. So I just accidentally recorded.